Hey folks, Kevin Denney, Police Chief for Grand Island Police Department here at Farmer's Daughter, talking to Joanna on another episode of the Business Beat. So Joanna, thanks for inviting us into your business. And this morning we got the opportunity to flip some pancakes, serve some hash browns and some eggs, top off the coffee. I really enjoyed that interaction with your customers.
I tell you what, my staff and I, we all had a fabulous time with you guys here this morning. It was wonderful.
Well, I appreciate your cook, Jason, allowing us to come back there and get in his groove because he likes his thing.
He has a groove.
He's got his thing going on, so that was nice to allow us to get back there for a little bit and just
Nice to
have
let him
fun.
shine for a minute too. It was good.
Well, he does a great job back there.
He does.
I can tell, and the customers really enjoy, I think, his singing.
They come for the singing sometimes.
Yeah. I asked him what his genre was, and he said the 80s mostly.
Pretty much, but
Yeah.
he's pretty versatile.
I'm down with that. So if you could just tell us a little bit of history on how you came to be the owner here.
Okay. I've been born and raised in Grand Island, so came here a lot of times with my folks growing up. This restaurant has been here for over 50 years, and so I came a lot of times, and always we just felt like this was my niche. And so my mom and I looked for a place a lot of years, and then I ended up working here. So I worked here a total of roughly 16 years. That includes the 2.5 I've owned it.
Mm-hmm.
I worked for the previous owner for 11 years, and it's just home. It's just home. Everybody here is just one big family. I am so blessed with the staff that I have. It never feels like work. We all come, and everybody was happy to come to work. Nobody ever feels like, oh, God. No, they come through those doors, and we're all just one big happy family, and everybody helps each other out. We're a big team, and my customers are phenomenal. Mm-hmm. I can't begin to tell you how wonderful my customers are. We had a really neat interaction this week where we had a couple come in. They're in their late 80s, and she called me and asked if she could come in and they could sing the Farmer's Daughter song. And they came in, sang, and they surprised another one of their friends who's 90, and she got up and danced to it. I tell you what, there wasn't a dry eye in the room. And it's just wonderful, you know. It's just, that's how it is in here. You know, everybody turns and talks to each other where they've from different states, don't know each other. It's just, the atmosphere is just wonderful in here.
And you don't get that in a lot of places.
You don't. I mean, you turn to speak to somebody and they kind of snub you. In many other places, no, but not here. Not here. It's just, you're all connected. It's really neat here.
Well, talking to the waitress this morning who was helping me, she was training me on how to take orders and things. That's one thing that she mentioned was that it feels like a family atmosphere, that she feels like she's part of a team, and it's not just a job. And that's something that's a leadership thing.
I work hard at it. I like to treat my staff really well because they treat me well.
So it doesn't matter if you're, you know, a Fortune 500 business leader, or you work in the police department, or you work here in Farmer's Daughter and you're the owner of Farmer's Daughter. Leadership principles are really the same, and I believe that. So when you have your employees who don't think of themselves as employees, they think of themselves as part of the family, then more likely you're going to have better customer service. You're going to have better employee retention. Those are some of the things that we're working on at the police department, and policing in general, is to try to make the officers, the people at the police department, feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. And that improves customer service a whole lot,
Absolutely.
I think.
Absolutely. Happy staff is is good customer service.
That's right. Less turnover. You get a lot of laughs going on. And that's what a local diner is really about.
Should be.
You know?
Yeah. It's exactly
because you've got people here. We had people this morning that were regulars. They come in like every day.
Every day.
Yeah. And are changing the world at the table behind me, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
So, you know.
They're solving all the world's problems. You bet. You bet.
That's right. So what else, what's the vision for Farmer's Daughter now that you're a new owner of just a couple of years? What kind of challenges did you go through at the beginning when you took ownership? Because you're coming out of COVID.
Yes.
Some other supply chain problems like that.
Supply chain has continued to still be a little off. It's gotten way better, but it's still a little off. The problems are mostly the increases in prices. You know, I mean, it's hard to reflect and not overcharge your customers, but yet meet your end, you know, because things are just getting kind of a little sky high, but we're making it work, you know. So like you said, though, it's not about being a Fortune 500. Mm-hmm. It's about having a happy place to work and grow, you know, and it's all about continuing to grow. I don't really want to change much about Farmer's Daughter. I'll always be continuing to look for new menu items, but it's home here, and everybody likes that. As time goes along, I'll just continue to keep repairing things and updating things, but I want it to keep it the way it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you change things too much, then it changes. And,
That's right.
And this place is just it's a staple of happiness, you know?
Right.
And I don't want that to change, so.
Well, if you got a good thing going, and if it's not broke, you don't want to. There's no need to necessarily fix a lot of
Exactly.
things.
If it's not broke, don't fix. Yep.
Yeah, and if you come in with a lot of changes as a new owner, and the prices go up because of not because of the new ownership,
Yes.
but because of just the way things are right
Yes.
now and a little bit of inflation going on, then it impacts your customers,
Right.
and they're going to think things have changed too much. And,
Too much, and
yeah.
then they go away, but eventually they come back.
Yep, and realize, okay,
Yeah.
it's still the same old,
Yep.
same
Still the
old
same
place.
little place. Yep.
Yeah. So tell me some of the menu items that you have here, and some of the popular things. And I know you do the desserts.
I do
So-
make the pies.
Yep.
I make
so,
them.
so
from
if
the
somebody's
crust
new
up.
from out of town and they haven't heard of Farmer's Daughter, but they're going to be traveling through Grand Island, what would you recommend that they stop in here? Let's have the address. Let's make sure we get the address. And then what would you recommend that they make sure they look at, or make sure that they at least have a taste of?
Well, the address here is 105 North Walnut, Grand Island, Nebraska, 68801. And I always tell people that we have the most amazing bacon here. I'm very proud of our bacon. Our breakfast item that is the biggest hit is the Sunshine. And it's built like a stack, and it's got hash browns on the bottom and eggs however you like them, and then sausage, green peppers, and onions all sauteed together on top. And it is magical if you add our homemade sausage gravy on it.
Yep.
Now, if you're here for lunch, I'm going to tell you that the hot beef is the best thing on the menu. Other than that, we have a pretty good menu. I'm really fond of our Reuben. I've been all over and ate a lot of Reubens, but I really do think ours is good. We make homemade soups. We make homemade lunch special every day. We have a variety of things that are wonderful.
And now the best part, the desserts, because you do desserts.
I do.
So tell me about the different
I-
pies.
Oh my goodness, I make a lot of pies. So I make fruit pies, peach, cherry, strawberry, rhubarb, apple. I've made mixed berry. I've made blackberry, blueberry, pumpkin, custard. What else have we made? And then we have our meringue pies, which we do coconut, banana, lemon, butterscotch, chocolate, peanut butter, and chocolate peanut butter pie.
So you gave me chocolate pie last time we were here, and I couldn't even wait to get back to the police station. I had to stop at City Hall, and I took it into the break room and had it there in the break room. So
Well, I hope you enjoyed it.
I can vouch for it. It's very good.
Good.
Excellent.
That
So
makes me happy to hear it.
yeah, and that's
I was
probably
taught very well by the previous owner. She did a good job teaching me. So
she did a lot of the dessert stuff and everything.
she did
too.
it before, and
Yep.
I've just followed suit, and that's my job too. So yep.
So tell me about some of the people that work here. Your wait staff, Jason, your cook. Talk a little bit about them.
Okay. I have just the most fabulous staff. I have Lavina, who's my dishwasher. She has been here 37 years. 37 years.
Wow.
So she's actually changed hands with all three owners of the Farmer's Daughter. I like to tease her that she's been sold with the restaurant three. But she's been a giant staple here, and I don't know
Yeah.
what we'll ever do when she retires. And then I have Jason, who's my main cook, and then I have Dallas, who is my prep cook, who is also a little rock star. My wait staff is Angie and Erica, and we just hired on a little gal named Veda, who's been helping out heavily. And then I also have Coral, who used to be a long time regular, and she sat the end of the bar here, and finally I got tired of looking at her. I told her, and I put her on payroll. She
Right.
loves it. I tell that, but so she runs my
Start
register.
running the register, right?
Yep, she runs
Okay.
my register, and she helps out a lot. She really does. She helps out a lot. My staff is really wonderful.
Yep. Well, this morning you said you weren't too busy, but there were a lot of people in here this morning. So what's your normal customer base in the morning? How many people do you normally have coming through for breakfast, for example?
Oh, I don't know, a lot. Breakfast is huge. I have no idea. I mean, we just roll tables, and people are so impressed with how fast our service is. I always tell them we just try to blow McDonald's out of the water in every way, and they
Yeah.
laugh at that. But we do,
Yeah.
I mean, time-wise, price-wise. So I don't know. We do a really good breakfast crowd. My weekly customers are generally a lot of regulars, but then there's always the travelers off the interstate. And then my weekend Saturdays are an entirely different group of regulars, and that's a lot of fun. We do different specials on that day, and we just have a good time with it. Everybody loves to do Saturdays, and used to be Saturdays were like pulling teeth. They were just
Right.
really hard work. We have so much fun with them now. It's just such a good time.
There's a different group coming in on Saturdays.
Yep. My staff is just, we just really have a good time together. So there's always laughter going on and silliness, and the two in the kitchen, they always fight like brother and sister. It's just a good time.
Right.
Everybody thinks it's a live free show, so we
Well,
don't charge for the entertainment.
And you know the saying that if you enjoy what you do, you never work a day in your life.
That's true.
And I feel the same way too. You know, I was lucky enough to find my niche in policing, and you know, the night shift that we worked initially would go by so quickly, and then you get your paycheck and you're like, man, I forget I get paid for
You
this,
got
you
paid
know,
for that,
because it's so
yeah.
much fun to do, because you feel like you're helping people and making a difference and everything. And you guys are making a difference here in Farmer's Daughter. What kind of connection, if you would speak a little bit about connection with the community, other than the customer base, what do you feel the connection in Farmer's Daughter with the greater Grand Island community would be?
I try to donate to anybody who asks when there's a cause going on or a benefit. I think that's important. I try to go to the funerals for my people who leave us. I don't know. We try to be involved in things, but we're just kind of hiding over here a little bit. A lot of people haven't ever been here their whole lives, so
Your group that you have here is an older group,
yes.
and yeah, unfortunately, you're so connected to them that you sometimes end up going to the family funerals and stuff.
I do.
Yeah.
And it's really hard sometimes. Every time. It's really hard. It is, because you just really get attached to these people. They are
Oh, yeah.
your family,
Yeah.
When they don't come for a few days, I have phone number lists. And they don't come for a few days, I start calling because I start worrying, And not all these people have anybody else. And we are their socialism for the day,
Right.
So yeah, and we have some that have to come on the bus, and we have to call for the bus ride to come back and get them, and we take as good care as we can of them,
Well, I'll tell you what, I had so much fun this morning just pouring coffee and talking to people. And I really do appreciate you allowing me to come back in at
I
different
think
times.
that will be
pouring
wonderful.
coffee.
We'll love to see you.
Well, you have such good conversations, and it's the ability to interact with people in a non-official capacity for the most part. And I was getting questions about, parking issues, parking questions, campers, just some regular police questions and stuff. And so I'm going to really enjoy going forward and just popping in and grabbing a pot of coffee and, topping people's coffee off.
You are welcome anytime.
So that's something I
They
never
will
thought
love
about.
that.
Well, I feel selfish. I feel like I'm the selfish one because I'm getting so much satisfaction out of coming in and seeing you, seeing the wait staff here, Jason the cook, and then being able to interact with some of your customers. So I always feel like I'm the selfish one.
They
with
will
regard
love
to
it.
that.
They
So
will eat it up. It'll be
a lot
great.
it'll be a lot of fun.
It will be.
I was pouring coffee for a guy this morning, and it was his first time in. He'd never been to Farmer's Daughter, and he was an older gentleman.
Larry from Lincoln.
Yeah, Larry from
I
Lincoln.
went over and made sure that I got to know him too, and I sent him home with a piece of pie as well.
Okay. Yeah, he was in here doing some stuff for foster parenting
Yes.
and helping out. And
Yeah, he kind of had a neat story too, and I love to hear the neat stories,
yeah, this is one of those places that's just a little bit of a diamond in the rough that you can pop in and you can instantly feel that the connection with people and have conversations.
Relaxed and comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And like I said, when I first started policing here in Grand Island, it was about a year and a half ago. I had just driven into town the day before. I was staying at a motel. This is the first place I had breakfast, probably the first place I had anything to eat when I was here, when I first started the job.
I think that's fantastic.
It's near and dear to
You
my
didn't
heart.
eat the hotel food, and you came here instead.
I came here.
I
was so nervous about my first day. I didn't know what I was gonna encounter at the police department, and so I thought, well, I better have a good breakfast at least, because I may be heading back to Texas the next day. But it was worked out great. I really have enjoyed it. I will always think of it as where I had breakfast my first day on the job.
That's cool that you have a connection too.
Absolutely.
I like
do.
that.
Yeah.
Lots of people have a good connection here.
And that's what it's all about.
It is. It is. I just want to continue that trait. Both previous owners did a really great job of growing that, and I like to give them a shout out anytime,
Yep.
Grace Anderson and Deb Dalton. So I'm happy to be the predecessor,
Yeah. Well, by all accounts, you're doing a terrific job. You are a great leader, a great owner, and I think Farmer's Daughter is in terrific hands.
Thank you.
Under your guidance
I appreciate that.
going forward, because you have an emotional connection to it. You have an emotional connection to the people that work here, and you're making a big difference in Grand Island.
I appreciate that.
Thanks again for having us
Absolutely.
come in.
I think this is fantastic, and I appreciate you asking.